Good evening, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you might be in the world. I'm Mike Barra, and welcome to Interdimensional Meditation class number 2. Now, hopefully everybody in here, they got the link in their email. Everybody's ready for the class. Jan, I know, is ready to go. So we got 52 of you guys in here. I think I send out 75 emails. Just remember, if somehow you miss it or you can't stay for the whole thing, the link will still be good for some time afterwards. You'll be able to come back and start from the beginning, listen to it over again, and you can even go back and review the first class. So without any further ado, I'm just going to turn this over to my friend, the wonderful Jennifer Fallaw-Doering, who everybody loves, especially me. And Jen, why don't you take us through the second class, the self-healing class?
All right, thank you. Well, hello and thanks everybody for joining me here tonight. This is Interdimensional Meditation, Class 2, the Healing Room. And in this class, you're going to learn how to go into meditations and be in the presence of God, Jesus, Archangel Raphael, and the other archangels, and receive healing. For those of you that did not take class 1, I'm going to try to explain this in a way that will make sense to you, and you could start from here. I do recommend going back if you would like to learn about the arena of clarity and going in to talk to the archangels about personal issues and ask questions. You can go to jenniferfallaw.com, and that is available there right now, and you will receive a link to join that class. And you can watch it over and over again. Once again, you can watch this class over and over again until you get it. The way I'm going to lay this out for you is I'd like you just to relax and listen and just kind of let yourself be absorbed in it, in the story. And I'm going to walk you through some things. I'm going to talk to you about some things, try to explain how to see in meditation, and give you basically, I give you the tools to get there and give you some information on how, where to go and what to do. But the rest of it is going to be completely your journey. You are about to embark on a journey of self-discovery. It's something that will bring you closer to God. You'll learn things about who you really are. And those aren't things that I can tell you. You'll find in meditation, there'll be a lot of things that you find out about yourself, about the angels, about God, about whatever you want to ask for and ask about. And that journey is completely yours. I can share with you the experiences that I've had and how valuable it's been to me and get you there. But then you're on your own. Over the course of this series, we are going to get into some more advanced meditation practices, all the way up to projecting your consciousness while awake. Now, some people say, and I like to use the term remote viewing, but it's not really what it is. Remote viewing has a very specific scientific process, and this is the soul traveling and being free. All you're really going to need is a landing spot. You need a destination. You never do anything alone. And so you always want to have your teachers and your protectors with you wherever you travel and whatever you do within every meditation. So sit back, relax, go ahead, get something to write with and some paper, because don't worry about taking notes right now. We're going to come back. I got it all lined out, and then we're going to go through our note-taking process together. So we have everything down. Right now, I'd like you just to listen and enjoy the presentation. Interdimensional meditation is a protection of consciousness. It's the way that the soul travels. There's nothing more natural or more free than that. There are no limitations, and the soul travels at the speed of thought, as well as other souls traveling to you. They do that at the speed of thought as well. The soul knows how to travel instinctively and communicate without the body instinctively. You just have to let yourself do it. This will actually be a light meditation. I don't go into some deep trance and I'm completely aware of everything that's going on around me. I do recommend that you eliminate distractions. You know, you don't want to have the cat or the dog crawling all over you or some TV in the background. Nothing distracting, so that you can just kind of drift away in your imagination, and that's how it starts. You know, again, those that have taken the first interdimensional meditation, excuse me, will find this easier. And they've been waiting for another direction. You know, they're probably all traveling all over the place already by themselves, but they'll be a little bit further along. In the last class, in the first class, it was called the Arena of Clarity. And what we did is I taught everybody to go into meditation and to create their arena of clarity, which is basically a long path and like a patio that you walk down. And as you walk down, your clarity increases. And if you would like to learn that, it's too much to explain here, but you can go and get the first class and learn that. First thing you want to do is choose your meditation music. Sometimes people, have meditation music that has gongs and water and birds chirping and crickets and all kinds of things like that. We don't want that. We want I used to use classical, but, there's too many crescendos, big booms, things like that, different changes in the rates of speed of the music. We want, I use just melodic piano music. Actually, if you go and get music for a baby, that's good. I mean, just like mood music, something like that. So you just want to, it's something that puts you in a heavenly mood, a peaceful mood. You'll feel it. You'll feel more loving. You'll feel more peaceful. And so you just want to sit up. Okay, because if you lay down, you fall asleep. Sit up, get comfortable. I find that I really can't stay in meditation for more than a half an hour because I just get antsy, like I have to get out. Like I can't hold the focus for that long. But I have experienced that what I thought was a half an hour was like an hour and a half. And I come out and so much time has passed. That's interesting. We'll have to explore that in another class. So you've got your music and you're in a comfortable place. And what we want to do first and foremost, every time, if you do this when you're awake, if you advance on to projection of consciousness, exploring different dimensions and different places in this dimension and time periods, you always pray first. Because, listen, if you can travel, there's all kinds of things. Everything is real somewhere. And you're in a state where you might run into some not so nice spirits along the way. And that's why you always want to pray first for protection. You never do anything alone. That is why I started everybody out with Archangel Michael. We go and meet in meditation every time. I start Michael or Gabriel every time, or both. I go to them. I meet them on my home level of heaven. For me, it's the 6th level of heaven. For everybody else, it might be different. The levels are... they're not defined by, okay, well, I'm up here and you're down here. It's more of a purpose that distinguishes the levels of heaven. Vibrational level, yeah. But for some reason, that's my home level, and that's where I go. And so I meet Gabriel and Michael every time, and then I ask them my questions, or I ask them who I want to talk to. Even when I do healings, I meet up with 3. Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and then we go into the healing room. I'll explain that later. So we've got our music, and we've got our prayer. Basically, when you pray, you want to ask God to protect you. Here, where you're going, so there, and in the in-between, because you're projecting a part of your consciousness. There are separations to your consciousness. We have, I'd like to call this part your heavenly body. So in between everything else that's sitting on your bed or in that chair, there's like this in-between shaft, this energy shaft that's connected. And so somehow, if not protected correctly, any kind of evil energies or spirits around, that would like to stop you from, receiving this kind of information. Now, don't be scared about this. It's not a big deal. Can slip into your perception, and you'll all of a sudden see something scary. That happens. You look to the archangels. You say, "See what I see." They'll see it. They'll get rid of it, or just start over. Sometimes you can create things. Like you'll all of a sudden see the archangel's face getting mean or something like that. That's just you, or that's something that got into your perception. So just start over, or communicate everything with them. If you travel somewhere later on, it'll say, okay, I'd like to see Atlantis in its heyday. You take, I don't care if you're a boy or a girl, take their hand, because they will lead you there. If they give you any special instructions, do it. So we're going to go. So we've got our prayer, we've got our comfortable place, we've got our music. Now we need a destination. Always have a destination, because you could just say, I'd like to go somewhere white, and end up in not such a good place. So your destination for this meditation and all that I will teach in this series will be your home level of heaven. So what I want you to do is say it in your mind. If you've already been meditating with Michael, what I usually do is I tell them I'm going into meditation. Meet me in the field, or meet me in the reading of clarity, or meet me in the library. For those who took the first class, we're going to start at the beginning of the path to the arena of clarity that you created. Before you walk down the path, we're just going to stand there for right now. And that's where you're going to meet Michael. And for healing, we're going to meet up with Archangel Raphael. And this will be the first time you've met him, unless you did it on your own. For those who did not take the first class, we're going to start in just a green field of grass. And your intention is your guide. So you think, I'm going home. Doesn't mean you're going to die. Nothing's going to happen to you. You're just going home. And, in this type of meditation, you just really want to allow yourself to imagine. Don't worry about wrong. Don't worry about right. Don't worry about real. You've already prayed. You're safe. Right now, we're just going to take a little journey in our mind. We're just going to have a little daydream. And this is how it starts. You'll find out later that it's real because you'll start asking questions about things you don't know anything about, and you'll get your confirmation. Just at this point in time, just allow yourself to visualize, to fantasize, and create this daydream. Everybody has the ability to do this. Anybody who has the ability to retain a memory can see with your mind's eye, and that's what we're using, is our mind's eye. Anybody who can dream can do this. But basically anybody can do it. You can remember what you did 10 minutes ago. You can remember what you did 10 years ago. And when you remember those things, you see it in your mind. You can remember what blue looks like, what red looks like, and what green looks like. You have a mind's eye and you use it all the time. You just don't realize it. This is what we're using to see in this type of meditation. It's just that easy. You just have to allow yourself to do it. In this type of meditation, you're led with your heart. It's the key to your true, honest intent. Actually, the key is your true, honest intent. That's more accurate. You cannot hide your intent from the divine. They can see it. They know it. They're not reading every thought unless you give them access. But you can't go in and hide your intent. So just throw your arms down. Be completely honest and open. And it's really that in this kind of healing, in this kind of meditation, it's that longing within you for home. It's that longing for God, even though you don't realize it. It's that longing for answers that leads you there. And so go ahead and let all that be present. Just be at peace. And mind's eye is really imagination. And imagination is the doorway to seeing as a soul. And one of the most terrible things that society has done to us as children is told us not to imagine. Stop imagining that. And that wasn't your parents' fault, and it wasn't anybody else's fault. I really think it's a dark side fault long time ago. Don't think for yourself. Don't imagine. Don't talk to God. God, you can talk to God, but God can't talk to you. Well, that's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely, and you'll see that. It's absolutely ridiculous because each and every one of you is God. So don't talk to yourself and don't retrieve any kind of information. What a good tactic that is to keep everyone separate. This is along your awakening journey, another step and a very big one in peeling away the programming, peeling away the lies. There's absolutely nothing evil or dark about it. It's learning and remembering again how to function as a soul and who your real family is. One of the reasons people don't see well in meditation when they try is because they hold back. One of the my husband took a class the other day. I couldn't remember the lady's name or the man's name. I don't remember his man. He's been taking so many classes lately. It was about succeeding in life. And he told me that. He said that the man said, people don't succeed in life because they hold back. I'm like, that's so true. I've been holding back my entire life in one way or another. It's time to stop doing that. It's time to stop holding back. It's time to stop fitting into that mold that everyone says that we should. It's time to stop worrying about you did what? You went in meditation and talked to God? That's crazy. It's like, okay, why? You really have to approach this with, you have to believe in infinite possibilities. You have to say, why not? And it's through that why not, and it's through those infinite possibilities that you get there. The angels told me a long time ago. It told me a lot of revelations about the future in the beginning. And I said, why are you telling me this? And they said, because you chose to believe in infinite possibilities, and that is where we reside. And it's stuck with me so much that it's been my motto in everything that I do, to believe in infinite possibilities. And through this philosophy, you will really see that through God, everything is possible. Because that's where they reside. That's where the angels reside. That's where your answers reside. That's where your healing resides. And if the one thing that blocks us from positively and consciously creating, and that's what we're going to do, we're going to create the healing, is doubt. And where does our doubt come from? It comes from the dark side. It comes from programming. It comes from negativity. So just go ahead, just for that time, when you meditate, go ahead and let all that fall away. You pick it up later if you want to. But for this time and for this type of meditation, you're free. And all things are possible. You'll find out later that it's real. So seeing with your mind's eye before we begin is just as simple as seeing a memory. You know, if I say, are there dishes in the sink? I just saw my sink and I'm like, no, actually there's not dishes, or maybe one or two, you know. It's that easy. You know, where's the bathroom? And then you see a picture, oh, the bathroom's in the hallway. You see the door to the bathroom. That's how you see it. It's not going to come from out here. It's not going to come from, you're not going to, you know, it's not like, a lot of times people think they can't see in meditation because you have to have some kind of special ability, or you have to, you know, like the black that you see when you close your eyes is just suddenly going to disappear, and you're going to have this like striking vision of whatever it is. That would be a little unnerving for some and probably stop you from doing it. It's just really not how the soul sees. So go ahead and let yourself imagine. Now, something about the divine, Jesus, God, loved ones, angels. For this meditation, we are going, for healing meditation, we're going to go see Jesus, and we're going to go see God, and we're going to be surrounded by angels. You know, you like, if you're Jewish and you're not into Jesus and all that stuff, you can do this with Archangel Raphael. But since day one, the first healing that I did in meditation, a friend asked me to do it. Well, if you can go into meditation and do all this, why don't you do healings? I'm like, because I'm not a healer. Well, I have this friend who's, you know, got cancer, and can you try? And I said, well, no pressure. I mean, okay. I ended up in this healing room, and a lot of things went on that I really didn't even know that I knew how to do. And Jesus was there, and I was surrounded all the way around the room by angels, and God's light was up above, and it was amazing. And, you know, I didn't know what kind of cancer she had. So like a couple weeks later, I'm at at Ross getting shoes for the kids. Kids were little, and the mother of this woman had her own kids. The one who had cancer, and the mother called me, and I'm like, I didn't even know how my friend must have gave her my number, and she said, she's crying. I'm like, oh my God, she died. And now she's mad at me because I didn't do a good job. I don't know what, she wasn't supposed to tell her that I did that. And she said, I just want to thank you. She has bone cancer. And not only is she in full remission, the doctor said that she has begun generating new bone. And I fell down on the little stool they have there where you try shoes on. And I was just dumbfounded. How that? I was I don't even get that. It's got to be, it can't be me. It can't be me who did that. Well, it wasn't me. I was just a girl who walked in and said, I will do this. I will be the vehicle. I will do this for you. I cared enough. She had children, so I felt for her, and that's important too. And it was just such an amazing experience that I went back to Jesus later in meditation, and I said, you know what? It took me a couple days. I was just dumbfounded. I was like, what? I went back to him in meditation later, and I said, you know what? I don't know how, and I don't know why. But if this is what you want me to do, I'll do it. Just teach me. And he has been my teacher and been at every healing ever since, checking my work exactly in the way that I'm going to tell you today. Now, I don't suggest that you go out and just start healing people, and this is why. Because there's a lot that I'd have to teach, and I don't really know how to teach this part. Certain people have, things they're good at and things they're best at. Some people talk to spirits, some people do healings, you know that. A couple, I found out after a while that sometimes when you put the light in somebody, demons pop out. It's what the hell is that? I didn't believe it existed. I have seen some things, and right now we're just going to do you can personally take it where you want to take it. But I want to make sure that I teach you something safe right now. I don't want you to run off and start taking customers and have things come out, because everything, when you're talking about attachments, they're called attachments. It's kind of like negative parasites. Okay. Nothing is ever destroyed in the spirit world. Everything is, if something like that is present, it is removed and taken back to the dimension that it belongs in, because it's not supposed to be here, and sealed up. So if you don't do that, it's still hanging around, and it could come at you. And I had one almost come at me one time, and for some reason I grabbed it by the neck, which, you'll do things. You'll see this. You'll do things in meditation that you don't even realize you know how to do. So just grab the thing by the neck, pinned it to the ground, called for Michael, and he took it away. So if anything like that ever happens, grab it by the neck, pin it to the ground, call for Michael, because that's what I did. It's been many, many years of doing these things. So I just today, we're just going to work on us. Okay. We're just going to work on you. If you want to bring your pets in and do all that stuff later, I would suggest getting a private with me. If anything like that happens, if you see anything like that, because sometimes the key to complete healing is removing that stuff and the negative energy as well. But just for today, we're going to start at the beginning. Now, God, Jesus, and angels are pulled to you, or you to them, through true, honest emotion. That's how your loved ones find you. That's how you're pulled to them. So everything in meditation is going to be honest. It's going to be true. You're not going to go up and think that you can say something that's not true. And sometimes, you'll get counsel that helps you find those true answers. But that's how it works. It's through the true, honest emotion. That energetic signal calls them to you. So even if you don't know exactly who, always start with one, like I told you. That's why I always start with Archangel Michael, or the archangel that you feel closest to, or Jesus, or whatever. They're your guide. They're your teacher. They're your protector. So kind of like a tour guide. But they know who you need and what you need. You don't have to know how to heal it, because it's not you that's healing it. You are standing up for yourself or for another, pairing that true, honest intent and asking God to let you be a clean vehicle for this healing, for yourself or someone else. So it's like sometimes it's hard to take any credit, because I'm just the girl who stood there and took some light, pointed it here and put it there, and gave it commands. And the light of creation is God's light. You're creating the healing. You're creating a healed state. And sometimes you can even take the body back to a time when it did not have this. So it's quite amazing. That true, honest intent brings... It's funny, you'll meet archangels, you'll meet quite a few along your journey, I'm sure. And they just know what you need. I mean, the first time I saw... okay, now there's the Blessed Mother. Okay? Mary. Pretty sure that these two are not the same, but there is a Mother God. Society gave her the name the Holy Spirit, and confused humanity ever since. So we've got the Father, the Son, the Child, and the Holy Spirit. And everybody's like, well, okay, there's the Mother. And a long time ago, men wanted power, and they wanted to keep power. And so a long period of time, the Divine Mother was phased out. Now, this isn't like any kind of weird witchcraft. I'm talking about the Holy Trinity here. And I've seen her. And I was sitting in front of my tree, and that's where I started meditating. In the beginning, I go sit under this tree in this grass field and just be at peace. And Gabriel would be with me. And one day, Gabriel walked up, touched me on the forehead, and left. And I was like... And then I saw her. A mother walked up. And I just knew right away, that's my mother. Not some soul mother, not some incarnation mother, like the mother. Like, that's it. There she is. I just knew it with every ounce of my being, and I couldn't tell you why. Well, I can't tell you why, but we're just, at the time, I wasn't aware of it. And I went up to her and I just fell to my knees. I just fell to my knees. And she fell to her knees and she hugged me. And it was the most wonderful thing. And I've known her ever since. And when I really, really need I call her Mama. There's a difference between Mary and her. I call her Mama. And when I really need my Mama, when I've got problems with the kids, or I just like, no one else is getting through to me over there, I'm upset about something, I'm worried, whatever, I call my Mama. And you have never seen action like that. I mean, God is the unmoved mover. And then you have the female aspect of God, who's the mover, who's the actor, who's the creator. You know, together they create. Then you've got Jesus, who's the Son. They are all the same, but I like to separate them in my mind just so that I can, you know, it's just all confusing. So, but she is real. And Gabe, they knew at that point in my life, I needed her. I needed that. And she came to me. I didn't know about her. And she came to me. And my true honest emotion and what I needed at the time led her to me. And it was wonderful. So, I'm going to walk you through what this is going to look like. Some steps for you to take. And just listen for now. I'd like you to just try and visualize with me while we do this. There's no right, there's no wrong, there's no failing this class. If it doesn't happen once, try again. So first we do the music. We get comfortable in our spot. We pray for protection. We sit up. We choose our destination. For this type of meditation, our starting destination will always be your home level of heaven. There are levels to heaven. Your home level, your home, where your house is. I like to start everybody for this meditation in a green grass field. Those who have taken the class before, we will begin, because you're familiar with the area. You can start in a green grass field if you want, but just stand in front of your arena of clarity. Don't walk down the path, just stand there. Go ahead and try, you're going to take a few deep breaths before you see yourself there. Just kind of ease your way in. Just see the grass, see the path to the arena of clarity. Stop, take a look down. Look at your body. Look at what you're wearing. Do this every time. It's going to teach you a lot about yourself. And you'll find out why. Just take a look at what you're wearing. Take a look around. And then call for Archangel Michael to be with you. Those who are standing at the arena of clarity, I want you to turn around. Just turn around. Take a look around. And let Michael walk up to you. Go ahead and let yourself see him. You're safe. Nothing's going to harm you. Just let yourself see him. We're also going to call Archangel Raphael. Call Michael first. That way, you know that whoever you call, or you can ask Michael to call him, you're not going to get some trickster coming in acting like him. You're going to get Archangel Raphael. And he is wonderful. He's always smiling and he's always happy. And he's smaller, not like real small, but he's like Michael and Gabriel are like 7 feet tall and wide shouldered and muscular and big. They're big. Raphael's probably like, just a little bit shorter and just more petite. And the way I see him, he's like Italian looking. He's got like shoulder length hair and it's curly, and he's just joy, like pure joy. Like when I see him, the only thing I can think of is, oh my God, I love you, and you're my friend. Like you've seen your best friend in the whole world. That's the kind of feeling you get from him. Call him in. And just spend a minute. Just spend a minute getting used to what they look like. If you can't see the faces, if you can't see it all, it's okay. Just, that'll come later. You'll get better at that. Some days, you go years and you see them, and then you could have a hard day and not be able to see. It just depends on how you're feeling. But remember to let yourself, don't hold back. Don't think of all the reasons why you can't see. Just do it. Just let it happen. You're going to always do everything. When you do a healing, you're going to call those two. And what we're going to do next is you want to take their hands and say, I want to find my house. Take me to the front door of my house here in heaven. And we're going to go to the front door. Don't worry about seeing the whole house. It's probably, at first I couldn't see my whole house. Actually, I think it's Gabriel's house, but he tells me it's my house. But it's just too complicated. I think it's his. But just go to the front door and stand in front of the front door. Get used to that. And then open the door and walk in. Just go in. Don't worry about having to see everything, because for this meditation, we're not really exploring your house. You can do that anytime you want. I found that rooms in a home in heaven usually have purpose. Never seen a bathroom, and I've never seen a kitchen. They have purpose. So like this is your meeting area, or this is your healing room, or this is your library, or whatever. A lot of sitting areas for conversation. It's interesting that I've seen. So just walk in the front door and be there. And then you tell the archangels what you want to do. Always just tell them what you want to do. They'll assist you in doing it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the right. I don't know why I'm telling you to go to the right, but that is what I've been instructed to do. Go to the right to the nearest wall. If there is not a door there, put one there. And the way you do that, think of the most, you can be as fancy as you'd like. You can put a door there. You put things in your home or change your home with thought. Like, well, I think I'd like an arched door with carvings on it, or I just want a plain door, and just see it there and it's there. The more times you go there and the more times you see these things, the more concrete they are. You will find later on there'll be things in your home that you cannot change and things that you can. Like there's this one room in my home. When I walk through the front door, there's this room. I don't know. It's probably like, 20 by 20. Maybe not that much. I don't know. I'm not good at that. But there's a grand piano in the middle of this room, and we all kind of walk around the room. But when I call the archangels in there, it seems like the room should be bigger. And I always keep trying to make this room bigger, and I can't do it. The other rooms, I could change a lot of things. But this room, no. And the more I keep going back to my house, or his house, whatever it is, the harder it is to change things. So I don't know what that's about. I think it's creation. It's solid. It's there. It's real. So go to your wall. If there is a door there, you probably already have a healing room, which is cool. If there isn't, put one there. Then we want to pray again, and we want to say, God, let this be the door to my healing room. Then open it and walk in. For this, I'm going to give you a little instruction because I would like you to visualize an empty room that's a little bit darker. Okay, not dark, not scary, not evil, nothing like that, but just a little bit darker so that you can't, and it's a big room, okay? Almost like a auditorium is what mine looks like. That's what I want you to have. I want you to have this big auditorium. There's nothing in it. You can't see the walls very much. I want you to walk in the room with the archangels. In the middle of the room, there is one chair. Walk around and stand in front of the chair. And then I want you to say, God, Jesus, please be with me. Send me your healers and your protectors. God, be with me. Send me your healers and protectors. And then I want you to look up. And what you're going to find is God's light illuminates the room, mostly in the middle. And now, I wanted to know, because at some time I doubted this. I'm like, why am I going into a room? Nothing that's a little bit dark. Nothing's dark here. Everything's very light. Why is this happening? Is this bad? And they said, it's so that you can see the light. It's for your benefit because you're going to be working with light. Okay. And if the room is really bright, you're not going to see it. And so for your benefit, so that you can see what's going on, it's just a little bit darker. So you look up at God's light. Then I want you to look around the room and see that all the way around this huge auditorium, you have rows in a circle around you in the chair, rows and rows and rows and rows of angels who have joined you. Then I want you to ask God, or just call Jesus' name, and say, Jesus, please be with me for healing. He comes in from the right. Always comes in from the right. I always see him walk in from the right. It's like he's with a certain kind of angels, and he walks in from the right. Go ahead and greet him. Meet him. You'll probably cry. I mean, it just depends. It depends, okay? But go ahead and meet him. Ask him to be your teacher. Now, like I said before, if you don't want to work with Jesus, which I highly recommend, you can do this with Archangel Raphael. He can stand by you and be your teacher. He can be your healer. For now, I'm just going to talk about the way that I do it. Jesus is there. Let's say something about Jesus. He has the most wonderful way. He has the most wonderful sense of humor. Never degrading, of course. But always lighthearted. So loving. I mean, I have seen miracles. I have seen him. And just the way he heals is so perfect. It's like I'm over there throwing light in here and pulling this out, putting that in and doing all this stuff. He comes up and I say, can you check my work? And he'll find something I didn't get. And he'll come up here and just and say something, and like just all this brown mist comes out of the person, or they're just fixed, they're healed, and I'm like, and I asked him one time, I said, how do you do that? I mean, I'm not trying to be you, how do you do that though? I mean, you're so efficient. You just walk up and say something that I can't hear, because interestingly enough, when God or Jesus talks to someone, you will not hear it unless they want you to. That's completely private between them and that soul. But I'll get off topic here. But like when he heals somebody, I said, "What did you say? What do you say?" And he says, "I say," because he's in complete belief. There's no doubt there. There's nothing blocking it. There's nothing stopping creation. It's an instant thing. And he says, "I say, God lives within you, so you are healed." And I'm like, that's so perfect. I mean, that's so perfect, I mean, it's reminding God within you. It's reminding you that way down in there, even past your own identity, you are God, to create that healing. It's absolutely perfect. Anyway, I'm not that good, okay? But I'm glad he's there. He's there at every healing. I would like him to be for you. So ask him to be with you for every healing, whether it's for you or somebody else. Not everybody wants the responsibility to do that for somebody else, but you can most definitely go in there and get this for you anytime you want. Another interesting tidbit. Every time I go into the healing room now, even though when I walk through the door, I say, God, please be with me. Send me your healers and your protectors. Jesus, please be with me for this healing. Everybody's always in the same place. They're already there. So it almost feels like I'm walking back into the same moment, which I can't figure out. I could be wrong, but they're already there when I open the door. Haven't figured that out yet. So you might find, if you find that happens to you, I want to know about it, because I've been trying to figure that out. All right, so we're in there. We got God's light above. We got the chair. One chair. If you'd like to put a bed there, I would, but I would like you not to be laying in bed. I'm going to teach you 2 ways of doing this. I hope you do the second, because it's totally cool. Okay, and it's hard. That's not hard to do. Don't think about anything hard to do. It's actually very natural to do. So the first way we're going to do this is you've got your angels all the way around the room. God's light up above. The first way we're going to do this is you're going to go and stand in front of the chair under the light and ask Jesus, go ahead and talk to him about whatever you're suffering from, and say, will you please heal me? And he'll say, well, of course, because I love you so much. I mean, he's like that, yeah. And one thing that I did from day one, before I never knew what I was doing. I didn't know why. Just instinctively, when I first did that first healing, it wasn't for me, it was for that lady. And I walked up to her and I said, do you accept God's healing? And she said, yes. I want you to announce that you accept God's healing, because free will is God's will. If you are God, as we all are, no one divine will interfere with your free will, not even God. So you have to accept the healing. Yes, you're there and you're asking for it. So basically you're accepting it. Just say it. Okay, it helps. There's a reason for it. So you stand under the light. I accept God's healing. You've asked Jesus to do it. Then let him do it. Go ahead and watch what he's doing and learn from it. Accept it and try not to get your thoughts in the way. Don't block it. Doubt can start blocking things. We're just going to let it happen. We're going to listen to whatever he tells us. Then, of course, you'd be very gracious. You thank him. And then you can go on your way. It's as simple as that. Now, here's the fun part. Okay. When you are in this state, the human consciousness can divide. Think about it. God divides his consciousness to create all of us and to be all of us. There is always a bigger piece to hold that thought. That is how you know God is real. As he is a divine creator, and as creators, we can also be in one. I think it has to do with the concentration of that piece of God. So let's say, maybe Jesus is a bigger piece, and just be real simple about it. And archangels are, they can be in a lot of places at once. We've got us as smaller pieces can separate our consciousness within this incarnation probably 3 to 4 times at once. We have layers of self. As a divine soul, you could probably live many lifetimes at once because of personal realities and the separations. That's why we have dimensions. That's why we have personal realities. Long story. But what we're going to do here is when you're in this type of meditation, you can pop out and face yourself. I know this because it happened on accident. And if I don't, you want to keep your thoughts in order. You want to maintain your focus in this kind of meditation, or you'll see that it happens. All of a sudden, you're standing behind yourself, looking at yourself, talking to an archangel. That happened to me once because I was meditating at home in bed at night, I was by myself, and I'm thinking, okay, am I standing here in a t-shirt and underwear right now in front of this, what am I wearing? So that's what started the what am I wearing thing. But what happened is I separated from myself. When I thought about looking at myself, and I was then standing behind myself, and I saw that I was wearing this long, light blue kind of it kind of looked like medieval dress. And I was talking, and I had long, very nice hair. I was very thin, by the way, which is not fair. Anyway, so then I think, oh, okay, no, I gotta, and somehow instinctively knew to focus back on his face, and then I was back. So in this healing, in doing it this way, which I highly recommend, you gotta be brave, because you're gonna look at yourself, and you're gonna look inside your body. Okay? Now, I don't know if you guys have the ability to do that. I do. But I figure, why not? That's the frame of mind that we're in for this kind of meditation. Why not? So go ahead and do it. You're going to be standing in front of the chair. Okay, facing Jesus. Then I want you to step out, turn around, look at yourself. Most of the time, what I find when I do that is the person standing at the chair that I'm looking at looks like me now. And the person that is me doing the healing looks like me there. So, incarnated self, divine self. Totally cool. And you will like it. Just try it. It may take a few tries. So then, divine self standing next to Jesus, healing your incarnated self. Now, this kind of healing is going to be on a soul level. It may be instant. It may be accelerated. It may take more than once. Your level of belief is of primary importance. Because if you don't believe that you're worthy of the healing, or you deserve the healing, or the healing can take place, you're going to block it. So what you've got, positive creation, creating the healing, right? Doubt is like blocking it. So it's like, okay, I'm trying to create this, and then I've got this doubt all over here, and some of it gets through, and that's the conflict of life right there. Remove the doubt, remove the can'ts, go ahead and believe it. Go ahead and do everything your doctor tells you to do anyway. It's fine. I found that animals are the easiest to heal because it's either their time to go or not. They don't have this, well, maybe I deserve this. I haven't really ate right. I haven't been healthy. I smoked, or what I did this. It's not, doctors say it's not possible. They don't have that. It's basically, you ask, a pet runs in, you ask them, do you accept God's healing? And they're like, yeah, sure. And they're healed. It's harder to heal. Well, I'm not going to tell you what's hard to heal. You know what? I'm not going to put that in your mind. You go ahead. I'm going to tell you what's easy to heal for me. Foreign invaders, cancer cells, viruses, bacteria, things like that. Now, something you got to regrow, you're going to have to keep doing it, because sooner or later, if it takes you 6 months to regrow this thing with accelerated creation healing, sooner or later your doubt's going to set back in. So you're going to have to go back in and do it again. Just keep doing it. So, all right. So we're facing ourselves, right? And Jesus is there. Any questions that you have, ask him. First thing you're going to say is, God, send me your light. Help me be a clean vehicle for this healing. And so what's going to happen is the light's going to come down through you. And you're going to say, God, do this with me. Because he told me that one time when I was having trouble. He said, do it with me. I'm like, yeah, I don't have to know how to do this. So you've got this, light comes down into your body in front of you. It just gets really bright. The light's coming down through your head. You've got it. So the next thing it needs is a command, because someday I'm going to write a book called The Seventh Element. The seventh element is the light of creation. It is the element that houses all others. It is God's light of creation. I don't know what else to call it, but I'm sure I'll learn. It's intelligent. It needs a command. And it's not like, do this, do that, and don't feel weird about that. You just basically, if you've got a heart problem, you put your hand out and you let yourself see light coming out of your hand and going into that heart. And you say, healthy heart. Or if you've got acid reflux, you put the light into the esophagus and the stomach and say, healed. Or if you have migraines, you put the hands on the side of the head and you say, no more migraines. You'll figure it out. But it's basically what you want to do. God knows how to do it. Then what you can also do is you look into your own eyes and you say, which works almost like hypnosis, you say, God lives within you, so you are healed. I've been doing that a lot since I learned that. And you say, Like if you don't, if you like, I do this. I always try this to lose weight. I do weight loss healings on people, and that's what I do for them. When I do that, I do a lot of things within that. But when what I do is I look into the eyes of the person, and I'll say, for 30 days, you enjoy working out and you like vegetables. And like, it's so funny because they'll come back and say, well, I don't know what's going on, but I've been really enjoying my workout and I've just been eating all these vegetables. And I'm like, that's so awesome. They're so cool. Why not play with it? Have a good time with it. You cannot enforce or force your will upon another person. This person came to you. This person wanted weight loss healing. They put it in your hands. They put it in God's hands. And go ahead and get creative with that. Get creative with yourself. You're not interfering with your own will. But you can't like bring your ex-boyfriend in there and say, you love me. Okay, you can't do that. Okay, that's interfering with someone's free will. We don't do that. That's not divine. So we're there. We're facing ourselves. We're putting the light in. Now, if you want to cleanse yourself, a lot of people like to cleanse their chakras. There's more than just the ones coming down here that I've seen trip you out. Okay, and then I went and looked it up, and it's true. They're all over the place. They're like on your shoulders or on your extremities. They're all over the place. It's like white ones, and then there's like colored in the middle. They really don't have a lot of color, by the way. Just light color, and I think I put it there. So what you want to do if you want to cleanse yourself, you just simply ask God, send me your light. So God's light comes down from up above. It's always there, ever present, ever present. God's light comes down from up above, fills up your body. You stand back, take your arms, put them from side to side, and bring them up. Bring them up until that light gets brighter, 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 until it's so blindingly bright, it kind of turns into like this jelly-like, sparkling, ice blue-looking stuff. At that point, say, release her. Now, I'm hoping a demon doesn't pop out. I'm pretty sure that if you're doing this right now, a demon's not going to pop out. But what's going to happen is you're going to see all this negative energy that you've been storing all this time go up into the white light of the Holy Spirit, until God's light. You can do this for cholesterol. You just say, remove excess cholesterol, and you'll see these, like what it looks like for me. It's these little white, tiny little white bubbles going, or pea-sized things going up to the light. You can say whatever you want. It's at this point when you do that I fry viruses. You take it up until you just tune into your body and you see the little bug, right? Bring that light up bright enough until you see that thing just disintegrate. Same thing with cancer cells. Same thing with tumors. Same thing with bacteria. If you want to generate cells and regrow something like cartilage takes a long time, but I'm not going to put that in your mind. You just have to give the command. So you have to let Jesus be your teacher. Let Raphael be your teacher. They'll tell you. And just let yourself imagine the whole damn thing. Just let it be a wonderful fantasy. Who cares? I mean, how entertaining. It used to be for me when I was widowed at home and I was like, oh, I'll go into meditation. What a wonderful fantasy I'm having right now. I'm just going to go talk to archangels and, I have a grand piano in my house and all this stuff. Well, I didn't really think it was real until I started getting confirmation, until I started asking questions that I knew that I didn't know anything about. And to this day, I don't really like to accumulate a lot of information about certain topics so that I can go in, get my information first, then go and research it and see if it matches up. When you go and you ask a question about something, like, Jesus, what supplement should I take to help me with these menopause symptoms, or help me with whatever? And he tells you, and then you go and you Google it and you find out that that's what it's for, or like essential oils or whatever. And you go, I was really there. I was really talking to him. I didn't know that. It's real. That's where you find your confirmation. And this will happen over and over and over again. So that's why I say, in the beginning, don't worry about it. Just get used to being there. You know, it was when I wasn't doing this for other people that I had the clearest vision, because it was just for me. I was asking questions about who I really am, and, you know, my life purpose, and what's going to happen next. And it just didn't matter. It didn't have to be right. And it was so clear. And so just start there. But this kind of healing, it's like, you'll see. It's real. And it's as simple as that. You just have to believe in infinite possibilities, and that through God, all things are possible. Now let's talk about what people encounter about, we're going to go back and I'm going to line this out for you again. We'll get some notes, but some of the problem, and a lot of the problem with people, and, I'm there too, is not feeling worthy, or not feeling deserving, or not knowing how to act when you're in meditation. And you'll learn all that. But it was like, when I first met Jesus, I was sitting under my tree. It was before I knew I had a house. I would go and sit under this tree in this field. Didn't know where the hell I was. I just knew I wanted to go to a safe place. I found out later on where I actually was going. And Gabriel once again came and touched me on the forehead. And I'm like, he did that before. And then I think what he's doing is allowing me to see that high vibrational level. I think that's what he was doing, because, of course, the vibrational level is so intense and so high. That's my estimation of why he touched me on the forehead before I saw Jesus the first time, and before some other the first time. So this man walks around the tree and stands in front of me. And he had dark hair. It wasn't real dark. It was a little bit lighter than you would think a little bit lighter features than somebody you would think from the Middle East. But not as light hair, and not as light. Did have blue eyes, though. Not as light as all the Jesus pictures that you see. His skin was kind of dark, not real dark, but, I would say if he lived in the time back there when everybody else had darker skin and really dark hair and stuff, he would have been considered lighter. Yes, his hair. But he came around, like, shoulder length hair. He does have the beard and the mustache. He had robes on, and they were colorful. I mean, not really colorful, but they had some color in them. And I was like, who is that? Who is? And then I was like, oh, and it hit me. And I was like, oh my God, I know you. And I got up like an idiot, and I'm like hugging him, and I'm so happy. I'm like jumping up and down, everything. And then I remembered my place. And I was like, oh, that's probably totally wrong to do that. So I dropped to my knees. And he's just all smiles, and he comes down and he lifts me up from my knees. And he says, don't do that. He's like, this creates separation between us. I want no separation between us. Walk with me. I'm like, I'm not good enough to walk with you. There's no way that I can walk with you. And then I just like, okay, yes, Jesus, whatever you say. But it taught me something. I've seen that time and time again. When I met Mother and I fell to my knees, she fell to her knees and she held me. That's the kind of love I'm talking about that you're going to see. This is why I'm teaching these classes. Because humanity has tried to put us so far away from our family. They have tried to make us, everything we go through here now, it's so, I mean, it has meaning as far as learning. But it's just like some kid getting answers wrong on a test. Yeah, we do some things that are pretty bad when we're kids, but your parents, they love you. They're not going to stop loving you because you screwed up on a test. And that's one of the things is they don't want that separation. They don't want you to feel unworthy. They want you to embrace them. They want you to hold their hand. They want you to walk with them. They want you to stand face to face. They want you to tell them everything and ask for everything. If it's wrong to ask for, you don't, or it doesn't, they'll set you straight. They'll say, well, probably not going to win the lottery tomorrow. Okay. But you'll be all right. But you'll find that that's the kind of love you're going to find. That's the kind of healing. That's the kind of embrace that you're going to find. And these 3 classes are the most important. First, the ability to go and to receive personal guidance. Real love, real guidance, from the archangels, from Jesus, from God, whatever, and to have that clarity. So if there's nobody else, if you can't afford a reading, if you don't know what's going to happen, if you just need peace, if you need guidance, whatever, you don't have to go anywhere else. You just go to God and his helpers and get your answers. It's not always that easy because not everything can be told. Because sometimes you have to go through some things and make some decisions on your own. But there will always be some kind of guidance. The second class is to go and get your healing, to go and get your cleansing, to be filled with white light of the Holy Spirit. And then the third is the one thing that people carry around with them is the longing and the missing of a loved one or a pet who has passed. And sometimes you're still going to go to other people sometimes for them to talk to them because you're going to need that confirmation. There's times when I do. But to go and pull up a chair next to your dad or your grandma or your mom or your sister, or your brother or your friend, in a beautiful setting and just sit with them for a while and talk to them. There's nothing more healing than that. And whether people don't come to me anymore to do this, that's the price I'm going to have to pay because I think it's important. I think this is one of my life objectives. I don't know, to teach this. And why keep it? I am in the firm belief that anybody, if I can do this, anybody can. And I think this is part of our awakening. I think it's remembering that we're not separate. Yeah, we're here for a while, but it's kind of like being on a vacation. Sometimes it's a sucky vacation, but we don't have to be so alone, and God never leaves you alone. And so I hope that you all find clarity and healing and peace and love and answers in your meditations. It's just as simple as that. I can tell you how to get there. The rest is up to you, because your house isn't going to look like my house. Your lessons aren't going to be the same as mine. You're going to, it's interesting. You'll feel a different closeness to the different archangels and the different, you can go and talk to your guides if you want to. Start with the archangels and always have one of them with you, because, we want to make sure that we're talking to their true divine guides. All right. Let's get our notes going. Okay, I think we got everything in there. Wait, one more thing. You can also go in and just ask for complete healing. Everything. Restore me, repair me, turn back time. I have even had success growing somebody's hair back. Actually, a couple people. So you have to, and people come to me and ask me, well, can you heal this? Can you heal that? And I'm like, well, I can't heal anything, but God, I'm pretty confident can. It just depends on whether it's in that person's life path and plan to have that ailment, if it's something that you wrote in that's very important, maybe that's the way somebody's going to pass away. Maybe this is something, you wrote it in to have a bad hip and go through those trials and tribulation rather than being paralyzed or something. You just never know. But stay open to and completely morph over from belief into knowing. And I think that's what will happen along this journey. So, everybody get ready to take your notes. Self-healing. Start in your field. No. Go back to the beginning. Music. Get your music. Sit in a comfortable chair or on your bed. I always sit crisscross-legged on my bed. Get comfortable. Eliminate distractions. Music, sit up, eliminate distractions. Pray for protection here, there, and in the in-between. Choose your destination. Later on, if you take the other classes, we start going around, like exploring mysteries of the world and places like that. We always have to have a destination. These, why? Because you could end up somewhere that you don't want to be. So we always have protection. We pray for protection. We choose a destination. Allow yourself to imagine without worry. Go to your home level of heaven. That is your destination right now. Front yard of your house, whatever. The more you go there, the more concrete it will be in your mind. You won't have to think about it anymore. You just go. Whenever I do cleansings, healings, house cleansings, things like that, I always start out there. Even if somebody asks me to go look and see what's out in the middle of the desert in a cave, I start out there. And I get Michael and I get Gabriel and sometimes Jesus and all that. And they go with me. They take me there. That's how we travel, is that they take you there and explain everything to you. So, destination. Go to your destination, your home level of heaven. Call your team. Michael, if you're going to do healings, Michael Raphael, you'll see Jesus in the healing room. Or Michael, I'm always Michael Gabriel. It's up to you. I recommend always Michael. He's the easiest to see, and he's big protector. Then tell them what you want. I'm here because this, or I want to know about this, or, can you, I want to go here, or I want to go in a healing room. I want a healing. That's right. We're on the healing room. So take me to my house is what we're doing now. Take me to my house. Stand in front of the front door. Go in the front door. Don't worry about trying to figure out what the entire room was. You'll see things peripheral and everything. Just immediately go to the wall on the right. Look for a door. If there isn't a door, create a door. Pray that this door lead to your healing room. Walk in the healing room. Take the archangels with you. Your healing room is a huge auditorium. Can't really see the walls. It's kind of darker in there. And I'm talking about like daytime dark, like when you walk in a house and it's not dark, but it's a little darker because you just got sunlight. Walk in the healing room. There's one chair in the middle of the room. Pray again. Ask God to be with you up above. Ask God to send you his healers and his helpers. They're all angels, but his healers and protectors. Send me your healers and protectors. And Jesus, please be with me. Look up, see God's light. Look down, see the angels around you. Look to your right, see Jesus. Go ahead, meet him, cry, whatever you want to do. You never know how you're going to react. It's funny. But ask him to be your healer and your teacher. Then, like I said before, if you want to heal, you want healing from Jesus, go and stand in front of the chair facing him. Ask him for the healing. He will do it. Tell God that you accept his healing. If you would like to separate and heal yourself and learn how to do that, which I highly recommend because that is totally cool. Just, might take a couple tries. Pretty sure it's going to be easy. Turn around and face yourself. Then ask Jesus what to do. Then you say, God, send me your light. And you ask God that you be a clean vehicle for this healing. Then that's up to you. Now you just put the light in and you give it a command. Like healthy heart. No more pain. Reduce inflammation. Whatever it is. It's a simple command. You're not going to be talking and say, well, I think we should really do this and this and that. And I think we should do that. Just simple command. it's a statement of what you want to create. And now for cleansing. Just take a stand back from yourself or whoever else it is. Just don't do other people for cleansing right now. I'm afraid something's going to happen. It's like I need to do another class on that. It's dangerous. Okay. Take a step back. Look at yourself. And just ask God to fill you up with the light. Okay, and so the light will come down from God and it will fill you up. Then you take your hands on either side. You take control of that light and you bring your hands up till it's brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter until it's blinding. Okay, and it after it gets blinding, it gets to this point where it's like this jelly, like swirling, like sparkly, ice blue looking stuff. That's at the point where you picture the virus in your body disintegrating, or those cancer cells disintegrating, or whatever it is for a healing. Or the cleansing, you say, release her, or release him, or be cleansed. And all the negative energy, you can see the chakras just go, all this crust coming off the chakras, it's all going up, completely cleansed. And you can just tailor make it the way you want. It's basically taking the light of creation in the presence of God and giving a command. And that's it. And believing it. Believe it. You can do this for the rest of your life. You can do it as many times as you want. I used to worry, and that's basically all you need for your notes. If you have any questions, or if you would like more instruction, you can always reach me at jenniferfallaw.com. You can get a private session with me and we could talk about it. Something happens, something pops out of there. First of all, something pops out of there. That's why we got Michael. Michael, get it. If anything happens like that, Michael, just go Michael. He will come in and he will get it. If you see something in meditation that is scary to you, it's not really there. It's in your perception, or it's your fear creating this scene. It's hard to say. I remember one time I was standing there in this courtyard that's off of the house, and I was talking to Gabriel about something. And off that way, I see this trippy. Okay, so I see this woman. She looks like she's in water. And her hair is really long and it's red. It's waving above her head like she's in water. She's throwing spears at me and they're not hitting me. But she's throwing spears at me. And I'm like, yeah, I'm tripping. And I said, what's with the redhead over there throwing spears at me? And he just stopped. He's like, where? He couldn't see it because my thoughts are private. Angels are very respective of your privacy. So all I had to say was right there. And I gave him permission to see it. He turns, he sees it, he goes over, battles the thing, shoves it down this hole, which is pretty cool to watch. And it's gone. And he comes walking back, and I'm like, what the hell was that? And he says, a banshee. I said, what the hell's a banshee? He's like, doesn't matter now. And I said, well, how could it get here? I thought I was safe. I thought I was on the 6th level of heaven. How did it get here? He goes, it wasn't here. It was in the in-between. It was in your perception. And I'm like, oh. So something slipped into my perception to stop me from going, to scare me from going in and talking to the divine. And it wasn't hurting me, but I was like, what the hell? He didn't see it until I told him. So if you ever see anything like that, either start over, pray for protection, say, God, I saw something scary and I'd like to go back. Just be completely honest and open talking to God and to the archangels. They'll help you in every way that they can. Just tell them what you want to do, what you need help with, what's bothering you. You can't ask too much. They also told me that. I said, oh my God, I've just asked you for too much. I'm so sorry. I'm just such a pain in the... And they're like, I was talking to God one time, because he'll do that. He will come and sit with you, and he will show himself to you in a way that you feel comfortable. So, of course, I see the guy with the beard and, but when you look in his eyes, it's like intense. You're just like, you can't look very long. Very loving, but very, I don't want to say stern, but serious. Very serious. Very loving, but very serious. Kind of like a grandpa who was like, listen to me, And I sat there. I'm always sitting on steps talking to him for some reason. We're sitting on steps and we're talking, and I'm talking about the girls, and I'm talking about this, and I'm talking about that. And I was just like, oh my God, I asked you for too much help. I keep asking you the same things. I'm so sorry. I come to you too much. And he said, ask me for everything all the time. And it stopped me. I'm like, everything all the time? I mean, you're going to be really busy, I will ask you for everything all the time. And that taught me something. That's what they want. No separation. It's just, I have learned over the years, there is so much love. There's so much respect. Unconditional. I mean, it is. It really is. It's unconditional. I have walked over there like, I have not done what you've told me a million times, and I'm going to ask you again. And there's no scolding. There's none of that. It's all constructive, and it's all loving, and it's all good. And, God bless you on your journey and on your healing. And I hope this helped you. And just keep it real and keep it blessed, and go find out who you really are. And I want to thank everybody for joining me here tonight. And I hope that you'll join me for the next class in a month.
Wow. Thank you, Jen. That was wonderful. And I didn't personally do it. I wanted to ask you a question, which is, I don't know if anybody else is thinking about this, but I think my biggest problem I would have is the belief, believing my hair. How do I believe that my hair is going to grow back? I mean, that's the part where I guess it's because, in your experience, your interactions with all of them are so real. Mine are more like, they're not as real yet. But I mean, I see things like my house has detail. It's a little white brick cottage in a nice field. And when I go in and turn right, there's a little sunken living room there with a bunch of and a lot of colorful walls, blue and yellow and red and green. And it's like colorful. And it's interesting because, like you said, put a door there on that wall to make your healing room. But my healing room's not there. It's kind of over to the other, a little bit to the left. It's the next wall, and it's blue.
That's fine. That's fine. Wherever it is.
And it's more like it's like an arena, or like like I was on a spaceship or a flying saucer or something.
That's what it looks like. It's weird. Yeah.
It's more technical where I go, but that's just what my mind creates. But it's like I'm sitting there and I can do all this stuff, but I'm like, that is probably the hardest thing for me is the belief. I know these creatures exist. I know the archangels exist. I know they talk to me. I talk to Jesus when I'm on a plane. I'm always checking, hey, Jesus, how you doing? Jesus is always my best buddy when I'm about to fly on an airplane. But actually getting to that belief seems to be my biggest issue, and it probably is for some other people. So, any thoughts about how to make that? Is it more solid? Is it just that you have to meditate more on this and talk to them more so you get more feedback, or what is it?
That's the journey.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for a long time, and I have seen some things. I have seen things that would make you bawl like a baby. I mean, and I've come to this place, and that's why I'm teaching it now. That's why I'm telling you that, go in with an open heart, go in like a child, believe in infinite possibilities, let go of the limitations and the restrictions and the fear of being wrong, and just get out of your own way. And confirmations along the way will convince you. And you know what? Anything that you're struggling with, anything, say, help me remember you. Help me believe. Help me do this. Help me get past this doubt. And they're teaching almost everything that I know how to do, or spiritual information has come from meditation. It's come from them. They are my teachers. So I ask me for everything. Anything you're struggling with. Listen, I'm having a hard time believing that's gonna happen. Help me believe, and they will. They'll teach you in a perfect way. You won't see it at first, and then you'll see it. So it's a journey, but it's completely personal. I can't make anybody believe. But
I saw Raphael.
Along the way, you'll see it.
I saw Raphael as kind of a stocky, dark-skinned, almost black dude. I guess he could be Italian. He could be a tanned Italian guy with curly hair, And I'm just like, okay, I'm not. It's like I imagine him, and then I get the image, and then even after you describe him in the way you see him, I can't change that once I've seen him the way I see him.
Right. I can look any way I want to over there, and so can they. So, I may be looking at I may see them the way I want to see them. That's something that's, I don't have one answer for, but right. I do know that God, God comes and sits next to me, kind of like a grandpa, somebody of a different race might go in and they would look like them, it would look like their grandpa, so it doesn't matter.
So also you can ask for like anything. Like I can go in there and I can say to Jesus or God or whoever I'm talking to and say, hey, I want the body back I had on my 50th birthday. And they can go, okay, 183 pounds, gallbladder still working a little bit. And I mean, we could fix it from there, but that's probably how the best I've ever felt about myself. Right. So
it's not a magic
I could do
trick.
that, right?
So what they'll say to you, you'll learn this real fast. What they'll say to you is, are you ready to do the work to get that body back? Yeah. And you'll be like, well, no, I just kind of wanted you to do it for me.
Yeah, I just want you to do it for me.
Yeah. Best way is you're not going to ask things like that when you look at Jesus in the face. You're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I understand my personal responsibility and all of this. They'll teach you how to get there if you're ready. And a lot of times what they'll do is look at you and they'll say, are you ready? And you'll be like, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean
I didn't really mean that.
I'm not ready. I'm not going to do that. So it's almost like you're like super honest in that state. Mm-hmm. And you kind of see your own shortcomings. You see what's involved in something like that. I would never yell. I would never say, you didn't do this for me or anything like that. Oh my God, the thought of that. I would never do that because, it's funny. You just have to take the journey and they will teach you what you need to know, but be completely honest and, present it like this. Will you heal my gallbladder? Will you, it's bothering me. I would like to be healed. Will you help me improve my body? Will you put it in my mind to like to do these things again? You present it like that and they will help you help yourself.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, well, Jen, thanks for all the time, guys. I guess if you have further questions, you want to practice this meditation, you want to follow the instructions, watch the video again. Please don't share it with anyone else. This is paid proprietary material for Jen.
Yeah.
And if you have questions and things, Jen will be back on the show on Friday. We'll be doing Free Reading Friday. If you have questions or observations, I'm sure she'd love to hear them. In between now and then, you can reach her on jenniferfallaw.com. And Jen, if you have any final closing words, let's go with that. Otherwise, I think we can say good night to everyone and thank you very much for being here.
That's it. Just thanks so much.
Good night. Thank you, guys. And we'll see you tomorrow on Toxically Masculine Tuesdays with Mike and Blake Wally. Good night.
Mm-hmm.